Hello and welcome. Live from Channels Television's global headquarters in Lagos, Nigeria, you're watching Newsroom series. I'm Dominic Iriu, and today our focus would be on the northwestern region. But before we get into that, let's have a snippet of our top stories making rounds at the moment. Vice President Kashim Shettima is in Akure, the Ondo State capital, for the official launch of the 7th edition of the expanded National Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises Clinic tagged Ondo 2025. The visit underscores the federal government's renewed commitment to fostering economic growth through support for small and medium-scale businesses. The MSME clinic is designed to provide small business owners with access to vital resources, capacity building opportunities, and mentorship from industry experts and regulatory agencies. It serves as a platform to address challenges faced by entrepreneurs, streamline business processes, and empower MSMEs to thrive in a competitive economic landscape. The 7th edition of the clinic, hosted in Ondo State, is part of a nationwide initiative aimed at stimulating job creation, enhancing productivity, and unlocking the full potential of Nigeria's MSME sector, which remains a critical driver of inclusive economic growth. The aftermath of the Lagos flood has left many communities grappling with severe disruptions to daily life. Homes, businesses, and vital infrastructure were submerged, forcing residents to evacuate and seek temporary shelter. The flood waters not only damaged properties, but also exposed long-standing issues of inadequate drainage system and urban planning challenges.
We have 3 babies in the compound here, and babies live in this environment. Please, come to our rescue.
The Lagos State government has called for calm as flash floods hit parts of the city due to heavy rainfall. Commissioner for the Environment, Tokunbo Wahab, assured residents that drainage systems are being actively managed and that the situation is under control. He reminded citizens of earlier weather advisories and emphasized that as a coastal city, Lagos remains vulnerable but resilient against flooding. A court in Lagos has sentenced a couple, Aja Johnson Uchenna and Rosemary Uchenna, to a total of 22 years in prison for drug trafficking. They were caught with over 400 kilograms of cannabis and will also forfeit 3.4 million naira to the government. In separate cases, an Indian woman and an Angolan businessman were jailed for heroin and cocaine trafficking, while another Nigerian man was convicted in Enugu for smuggling cocaine from Brazil. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, also secured a court order for the final forfeiture of a multi-billion naira hotel in Victoria Island, Lagos, used by drug cartel. NDLEA Chairman Brigadier General Buba Marwa praised the swift court rulings, saying they would boost efforts to fight drug crimes in Nigeria. We start off in Jigawa State, where the state government has taken a bold step to fight child malnutrition and empower local women. The initiative is part of a 392 million naira empowerment scheme, also designed to support transport workers and butchers in the state. Our correspondent Abubakar Salihu reports.
In a landmark ceremony, 600 women graduated from a training program in the production of Tom Brown, a locally sourced nutritious formula aimed at tackling child malnutrition in Jigawa State.
Let me at this stage congratulate all the 600 beneficiaries of the program. You should count yourself lucky. While addressing nutrition, the Tom Brown Production Initiative will also directly promote economic self-reliance, contribute to healthy development of our children, and deliver a host of other social economic benefits.
Each beneficiary received a starter package, including sealing machines and raw materials, to begin local production of Tom Brown, which will be integrated into child nutrition programs across the state.
Instead of us taking our own money outside the state or even outside the country, now the hundreds of millions we are spending in buying the Tamoa milk, or I should say the Tom Brown, now can stay in Jigawa State, and our money stay with us within the economy.
And when they go down to the LGA and they produce that Tom Brown, the local government will buy that Tom Brown from them. So all the children reported to our Masaki site or health clinic with moderate acute malnutrition, they will be given that Tom Brown free.
In a related development, Governor Umar Namadi flagged off empowerment initiatives for transport workers and butchers, describing them as people-centered programs to boost the local economy and support grassroots development. Under the scheme, 36 commercial vehicles worth over 279 million naira were handed over to members of the National Union of Road Transport Workers under a revolving loan arrangement.
What we are launching today for the NURTW is the distribution of 36 commercial transport vehicles directly procured by the union with funds provided by the Jigawa State government through the Youth Economic Empowerment and Employment Agency. The total funds committed to this initiative is to the tune of 279,300,000, covering the cost of vehicle and associated vehicle insurance cover.
The governor also announced a 113 million naira revolving loan for the Jigawa Butchers Association, targeting both major livestock dealers and smaller operators to strengthen the meat production value chain.
The second initiative we are launching today is another revolving loan scheme for the Butchers Association in Jigawa State. This is in line with our commitment to support all aspects of livestock value chain in the state. This initial Butchers revolving loan scheme will provide 113 million naira to 53 members of the association, payable within 2 to 3 years.
The Jigawa State government says these programs are part of broader efforts to promote economic growth, improve infrastructure, and above all, ensure the health and well-being of women and children. Abubakar Salihu, Channels Television News.
The Kano State government has started a big tree planting project to fight desertification. Governor Abba Yusuf, during the flag-off, distributed 5.5 million tree seedlings to all 44 local government areas in the state. The goal is to protect the environment, restore damaged lands, and encourage communities to join in planting trees. Our correspondent Sadiq Liasu reports from Makuda.
A gathering at the historic Embawa shelter belt in Makuda local government area. Greenery surrounded by dignitaries, officials, and community members. The shelter belt, a symbol of Kano's fight against desert encroachment, was established in 1972. Today, it hosts a renewed environmental campaign. Governor Abba Yusuf announced that all local government areas will receive tree allocations for planting in communities, schools, and places of worship.
Since our assumption of office, this government has also taken bold and practical steps to address the urgent environmental challenges facing our dear state. When we came into office, Kano State had no functional government nursery or any shelter belt in operation. Today, I am proud to announce that we have rehabilitated 2 key nurseries at Maininka in Gwarzo and Kapunchiri in Garko local government areas. These 2 nurseries supply the bulk of the tree seedlings being planted today.
The state has also reclaimed over 250,000 hectares of land through the Agroclimatic Resilience Project known as ACRISA.
We are not just planting trees, we are restoring ecosystem, improving air quality, reducing desertification, and safeguarding the future of our communities. Through this campaign, we are reaching all 44 local governments, providing tree seedlings to schools, religious institutions, homes, farms, markets, and public spaces.
Kano State hopes this initiative will not only green its landscape, but also inspire future generations to care for their environment. Sadiq Ilyasu, Channels Television News.
A 5-day workshop on police reforms and trauma healing has been concluded in Katsina State. The training, organized by the United Nations Development Program and CLEEN Foundation, focused on improving how police officers handle trauma from insecurity and violence. Stakeholders say the initiative is part of efforts to rebuild trust between the police and the public. Facilitators emphasize that police need proper training, equipment, and public support to perform their duties effectively. They also called on the government to increase funding for police services and ensure accountability.
Yeah, this is a 5-day workshop addressing 2 issues. The first issue is enhancing and strengthening relationship between the police and the public. And the second part is equipping police with understanding, both on their side and on the side of the public, trauma that arises from insecurity, especially the violent.
Well, our goal is to improve community engagement with the police. The fundamental issue of building trust between the community and police and building relationship, improving the quality of their relationship is one. The second thing is to work on the effect of trauma on police officers, the understanding of trauma, because traumatized people traumatize other people. So to reduce the after effect of trauma.
Over in Kaduna State, Governor Uba Sani has held a crucial meeting with religious and traditional rulers to address growing concerns over insecurity, poverty, and underdevelopment in the region. The governor also blamed past leaders in the north for the systemic failures that have left millions of citizens financially excluded and living in poverty. The meeting is part of his administration's ongoing efforts to deepen citizens' engagement and develop local solutions for Kaduna's challenges.
Since assuming office over 2 years ago, Kaduna State Governor Uba Sani appeared to prioritize security building as he continues to strengthen security across the state. This latest interactive session with religious and traditional leaders is aimed at promoting open dialogue, gathering inputs, and finding new ways to govern the state historically divided along ethnic and religious lines. The governor used the forum to reflect on some of the key challenges his administration inherited and share success stories.
When I came as a governor, we opened accounts for 2.5 million people in the rural areas so that they can benefit. Today, President Bola Tinubu is doing a lot of intervention. Kaduna State is getting more than any state now. If you go to Sweden, we're #1 because we're getting the money. And our people will be financially okay, and they will have financial prosperity. So all these things are things that we have to talk. When you see leaders, please ask them, talk to them. Don't let them deceive you about North and South, Muslim, Christians. Poverty, have no religion.
Traditional and religious leaders present at the meeting commended the governor's inclusive governance approach, emphasizing the importance of peace, unity, and security in Kaduna State.
We have to commend Your Excellency in the area of unifying the 2 principal religions, that is Islam and Christianity. We're always, coming together now. Kaduna State is peaceful, and everybody is living in peace now. Your Excellency, you have proved to be a governor who listens. As you rightly said on your speech, when you announced publicly that you were giving amnesty to bandits, I quickly challenge you to say, wait a minute, what do you do about the victims? How do you give bandit amnesty when those who suffer their crime are crying? And you show that you are a listening governor. And today, we have seen that both bandits and victims are happy. And that's why Kaduna State is peaceful.
As the meeting wrapped up, Governor Sani called for grassroots-driven solutions to tackle insecurity, urging collaborations with community leaders who are closest to the people.
Nigeria's Minister of State for Works, Mohammed Bello Goronyo, has admonished youth, especially social media users, to embrace the positive use of social media to protect activities of government that is beneficial to followers of their social media handles and the mass majority of citizens, rather than engaging in negative practice of spreading fake news. He made the call in Sokoto during the opening of the 3-day capacity building he organized for youth across the 23 local government areas of Sokoto State, aimed at empowering the youth to be useful members of the society and responsible citizens on and off social media. He said the administration of President Bola Tinubu has carried out enough developmental projects in the last 2 years that should be showcased on social media for citizens to benefit from them, which responsible social media usage will make possible.
And very highly His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Ashwaji Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for his unwavering commitment to the socio-economic objectives of this country under his renewed hope agenda. And of course, the Governor of Sokoto State, Alhaji Dr. Ahmed Ali Sokoto FCNA, PhD, for also his visionary leadership and, of course, transformative agenda. What we are seeking to achieve here is to sensitize our media practitioners, particularly the new media influencers, to really look at the challenges that is posed in the social media.
Governor Nasir Idris of Kebbi State insists he will not be distracted by opposition criticisms over his capital development project. Governor Idris insists that his administration is focused on transforming the state capital while also working on major infrastructure across Kebbi. The governor made this remarks while addressing concerns that his projects are centered only in Birnin Kebbi. For more on infrastructure development in Kebbi State, we're being joined by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Works, Kebbi State, Saadu Sakabu, joins us from Birnin Kebbi, the state capital. Thank you for joining us and welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Now, the opposition alleges that development projects are mostly focused on the state capital. Can you highlight key projects that have been executed in other local government areas outside of the capital?
Well, actually, to start with, the project that has gotten the highest amount of money, around 64 billion, it's cited in Kebbi South. That is the Koko Dabai Mahuta Road. So we cannot say it's cited, we cannot say it's only the state capital that is benefiting from the project. In fact, we have all the Emirate headquarters have benefited. We have the roads that were rehabilitated in Yauri, that is in Yauri Emirate, and then we have a dualization road that is going on at Argungu, that is in Argungu Emirate, that is Kebbi North, the headquarters of Kebbi North Senatorial District. We have the Koko Dabe Mahuta Road. That is even, in fact, presently, in fact, since the creation of the Kebbi State, I can say it is the most important project and the most, it's a federal government project, but Kebbi State has taken it over. So it is even presently the most expensive project that we're handling. And it is not situated even at the Central Senatorial District, but at Kebbi South Senatorial District. So I don't know where they are getting their facts from.
Okay, now how do you respond off of that? How do you respond to criticisms that rural communities are being sidelined in infrastructure development?
Well, as I said, this road is the most important. It serves the whole of Kebbi South. And that is why the rural communities, the majority of the people living there are farmers. It's only when farmers have access routes that is when rural communities are served. So the allegation that the works are done only in the state capital are not true at all. The Ministry of Works is, in addition to this particular route, it's also dualizing the Argungu bypass route, and then it is doing the roads in Yauri Emirate. So I don't know how people can just say it is only in the state capital.
Okay, now as the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Works, how will your ministry prioritize unfinished projects to leave a lasting impact before the end of this current tenure?
Well, I will say that by the way, how do I put it? By the way and manner the government is going, we are not, I'm very sure, we are not going to have any unfinished project. Because when the governor came in, the present state I'm standing here is the new secretariat, the new secretarial complex. It was started in 2012. It was started in 2012, but when he came, the subsequent government couldn't finish it. But when he came, he called Minister of Works and asked us for advice. We advised him appropriately, and presently the secretariat is already completed. So by the way the contractors are being served, by the way the supervision work is being done, by the way the payment is being done itself, I can tell you that we are not going to have any project unfinished at the end of the tenure of this administration. That I can assure you.
Okay. Now, what specific plans does the Kebbi State government have to improve rural road networks to enhance access to markets for farmers and local businesses?
You know, apart from the Ministry of Works, there is AgriCell, there are housed under the Ministry of Agriculture, and then there is what do we call these other projects? There are other projects that are also serving rural routes, apart from the mainstream Ministry of Works. There are some 2 projects in the Ministry of Agriculture that is particularly concerned about rural routes, and they are on it presently.
Okay. So, other than that, are there more plans to spread these developments to other local government areas other than the capital? That's what thing Nigerians want to know.
Yes, there are assessments of almost all the major local governments in the state. The Ministry of Works have already conducted assessment of many of the routes. You know, the government doesn't have all the funds. That's natural. So what is being done is we prioritize, we go to a local government, pick the most important economic route in that area, and then the government is on it presently. We are already preparing bills for them, and I can assure you, maybe before the end of this year, you come to Kebbi and you see these roads being done, inshallah.
Okay, now, how, other than that, other than just road construction, are there other government's projects being put in the pipeline to intend to ensure inclusive development across all zones in Kebbi State?
Well, if you ask, that is more of our, that question is supposed to go to a politician. You know, I'm a permanent secretary in Ministry of Works. So I'm only authorized to talk about Ministry of Works. But of course, as a citizen of Kebbi State, I've seen a lot of other jobs in Ministry of Health, in Ministry of Agriculture. In fact, you know, the governor gives what we call it fertilizer free for the first time. Chemicals, agrochemicals, fertilizer, and the rest are being given free in Kebbi State. So, but that is not my area.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much. We're being joined by the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Works, Kebbi State, Mr. Saadu Sakaba. Thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
And that's where we drop the anchor on this edition of Newsroom Series. I'm Dominic Iriwu. Enjoy the rest of your day.